What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and none of the above? This is DL back here. Quadruple upload, let's go. Let's keep this train running. Uh, Back with more KSL Season 4 content. This time we got my battle against Romeo. This was like week 6 or so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Romeo had a pretty interesting team featuring the Zygarde Alolan Persian combo, which I had last season. It's pretty nice. But unfortunately, he couldn't make them both Z captains this season, since Alolan Persian got moved up to tier 3.5. He's also got Tapu Fini, Mega Aggron. Yeah, Fini, Aggron, Zygarde's a really popular draft league core, though I'm not the biggest fan of it myself. These things tend to get worn down by Volt Turn, in my opinion. His team just felt really momentum weak at draft analysis. So let's get to the team builder. So the main thing about his team is it's this Fairy Dragon Steel core is the core of it. Rotom Heat was super scary for my team because Fire Overheat plus Hidden Power Ice hit my Electric communities in Togedemaru and Gliscor. So I definitely expected an offensive Rotom. Not sure if it's going to be Specs or Scarf, but it can't be Z, so that's nice. Persian, I definitely thought could come, but he's kind of got to be spamming Parting Shot. Licky is an interesting bring. Didn't really expect it. Zygarde, I'm pretty confident about that I can take on. But the main issue with Romeo's team at this point in time is he didn't really have a lot of offensive pressure, which is why I later suggested that he pick up Toxicroak to try to deal with some of the bulky grasses and fairies that could annoy Zygarde in particular. But Rotom Heat actually pressures my team pretty nicely for him. So into the T-Builder. So Zygarde is his big threat, so I want to make sure that I can take out that on adequately. So I have a max physically defensive Gliscor with knockoff, SD, Roost, Earthquake. This is really nice set against this team, since if Tapu Fini is weakened, this can really break down his Mega Aggron Tapu Fini core with SD. Knockoff, really nice for getting rid of things like Rotoms, Choice Item, Fini's Leftovers, Licky's Leftovers, Persian's Leftovers if it's not a Z set. And just this max Phys-Def set is designed to take on Banded Zygarde, especially with the combination of Knockoff, really able to reduce its damage output. And then my way of taking on Dragon Dance Zygarde is my Unaware Clefable. It says Wish Protect, Moonblast, and Calm Mind. He has Mega Aggron, but I don't think he had a Poison type at this point in time. So if Aggron is weakened, then Clefable becomes an extremely strong win con. Like you can see, Clef 1v1s these 5 Pokemon. So all I need is this to be removed. To do that, we have the help of a nice and reckless Mienshao. I Jump Kick, U-Turn, Knockoff, and we have the Poisonium Z Poison Jab. I believe this was designed so that like High Jump Kick or Knockoff into Acid Downpour was designed to should be able to take out Tapu Fini. And this is just a Pokemon which Alolan Persian can't really touch too well. It's really threatening to Mega Aggron. Licky does wonders against his defensive core. And then yeah, his team has a lot of fat things, so that means Hoopa. Like you can see, I didn't even run much speed on Hoopa because I'm pretty sure his Fini is gonna run. I thought he would run enough speed on Fini to outpace Hoopa. Looks like he didn't end up doing that. So I didn't even bother. I really liked the bulk to better take on things like Mega Aggron. Hoopa is extremely heavy, so a heavy slam is only like 60 base power. So this thing can actually take some hits from Mega Aggron. It just Specs, Dark Pulse, Psychic, Focus Blast. It just hit his whole team. Specs is better than Physical because Fur Coat, Alolan Persian. Focus Blast is designed to build that back, but it doesn't like taking Dark Pulse anyways. Then Hyperspace Hole was here specifically in case he was max Bedef Wish Protect Licky Licky, so I could hit through protection with the Hyperspace Hole. Toxapex is really nice against this team. As mentioned, I have Unaware Clefable, so I don't really have to worry about fitting Haze onto this set. Like Dragon Dance Zygarde is not going to beat me. Unless like he crits like Z Iron Tail or something, which I don't really think he's gonna bring that. So knockoff, yeah, his team's really knockoff weak. Particularly, yeah, Finny and Rotom really don't appreciate knockoff, which are the main things that you'd want to switch in on some of Toxaplex's other options. Specifically, Finny wants to come in on Scald. Get rid of things leftovers and you just limit it. Like he has Wish Support Licky Licky, but I'm able to threaten that pretty heavily. And then Toxic Spikes are super good. He does have, Finny with Misty Terrain, so regular Toxic is basically useless. But if you have a layer of Toxic Spikes up, and then Finny switches in, it actually gets poisoned before the Misty Terrain activates. So that was really nice. Really good way to pressure things like Licky, Zygarde, and Persian as well. And then we are max Bedef in order to take on something that he had on his team. That's been a minute. Yeah. And then Druddigon's just here mostly as a stealth rocker, especially defensive, designed to help me against Rotom Heat in particular. Got Mold Breaker to help hit Rotom through Levitate with Earthquake, and I guess do a little more damage to Aggron, ignoring Filter, but it still doesn't do much. Gunk Shot for Finny, Dragon Tail for phasing, and the rocks. We have a leftover since we're a Spadef set. And a little bit of speed, creeping Aggron. So yeah, definitely expect this to be offensive. Not sure if this is DD or Banded, but it's going to be one of the two. This is obviously Stealth Rocks. This is Wish Support. This is probably Defog. Like, his team ended up being pretty one-dimensional in my opinion. I wasn't really a fan of his draft. So I'm going to lead Toxapex because he can't really do much to me. See, he leads Persian. I expect him to maybe go for a taunt here, I believe. But, or no, I expect him to just Parting Shot. So I get up a T-Spike, which seems pretty free against this team. So he's going to go Rotom. So I'm going to knock off because I know I can live any one hit because I'm Max Pedef, even if he's like Specs Thunderbolt. I don't know, maybe Thunder kills, but I don't think he'd bring that. And getting rid of Rotom's item would just be incredible. So he's going to go Aggron. And he's risking Scald Burns in order to get up rocks. And unfortunately, I'm not actually going to nab any Scald Burns, so he's playing with fire here. And he's the champion of it. Finny is going to be poisoned, so that's going to be killed at some point. It's really nice. But he brings Finny out on Gliscor, which threatens me out, but I get my Toxic Orb activated, so it's okay. We go Pex on the Surf. And here we go Knockoff. I don't understand this play from him. I guess he expected me to just Scald again. But I see no reason why I would want to. I mean, it does more damage to Aggron, but I valued getting rid of something's item. So we're able to knock up the Choice Band. This is just amazing. I mean, it's already basically checkmate. I just have to neutralize the Rotom Heat, and then he cannot break my core. I mean, Banded was walled by Gliscor for the most part, but I know he's not set up now, and he has just the damage output of an unboosted Zygarde. So, like, this Zygarde cannot do anything to my team. So you see, Gliscor's going to come in and take a whole 25. Like, Rocks basically did the same amount of damage. So we're going to Roost up, just get nice and healthy. And this Finny is just being eventually worn down by the poison. So Toxic Spike's annoying his team. I don't think he had a poison type at this point on his team. Which is a major issue because this made him T-Spike super free. And he's once again not getting burned. I predict him. I want to scout to see if he's Avalanche here, because Ice Punch I know my Gliscor can deal with. but Avalanche would destroy me, so I'm scouting for that with my Pex here. Getting a little more regenerator. Yeah, he's predicting my Gliscor to come in here, so he goes into this, but I was out of range of another Earthquake, and I was willing to risk, like, yeah, getting a little low, because this thing comes in for free and recovers on 3 of his Pokemon. Yeah, Finny, Persian, and Licky Licky. So just the chance to get a Scald Burn was just too strong, so I stayed in. He's taking some nice free damage. I take this as an opportunity to get up a second layer, because yeah, Toxic is better than Poison, particularly for Licky Licky. So it can't stall me out, putting it like on a true timer. And it's basically the same for these two. Like the number of layers only really matters for this. So he's gonna bring out Licky. And I'm going to knock off to get rid of this thing's leftovers, so that he can't just like protect stall me later. I predict him to go into Finny or Aggron. That's obvious to Wish Pass. But at this point, I'm identifying Rotom as the primary threat to my team. So I go Druddigon to get up Stealth Rock. But this might have been a misplay, because I'm going to allow my Druddigon to get pretty weak here in exchange for rocks, which makes this Rotom a little tougher to deal with. So he's just going to go for the Ice Punch, and that does 52. So we're still at half health, so we're not dead, but a little less comfortable coming in on the Rotom. I predicted him to go for Ice Punch here, so I went Pex. And then, yeah, he makes some pretty nice reads here, but it doesn't matter, because Pex Gliscor is broken. As you can see, really nice against some of these slower Pokemon that go for ice moves, so losing your flying typing for the Roost. Here, he tries to predict the Roost and goes for Earthquake, which still does the same amount of damage as Ice Punch, but we just got a free SD off. Finny with Rocks Up and the Poison should die to +2 Earthquake at this range, and I was pretty sure he wasn't very fast, based on the damage. So yeah, this Gliscor should be able to soften up his defensive core pretty nicely here. The main thing about this matchup overall is his lack of offensive pressure. He's just in a chokehold with very limited counterplay. Like, I don't even have to go into my threats like Mienshao or Hoopa. I'm just beating him down with my core. This is a bad play. And you'll see, like, he specs Rotom, which I didn't know at this time. If he was Scarf, I would have been fine. But Zygarde's already neutralized, so this Clef isn't really needed, so to say. So this doesn't lose me too much, but yeah, switching in Raw and Overheat's kind of annoying. But thankfully we are PP stalling it. He only has 6 of these left. Yeah, if Druddigon were healthier, it would have been nice. So I know we're going to live 2 of these, but we are risking a crit. I knew he specs, so I maybe should have gone to Pex here. We're going to be able to roost off, and he only has half his overheats left. So if this thing loses its overheats, it's like completely GG. So we're going to SD on the switch, a nice little flex play there. I mean, I didn't really lose anything by doing so, but now this Finny's going to drop. So no more Misty Terrain, no more Defog, these T-Spikes are here for good. So like when these Pokemon come in, after Misty Terrain goes away, they will be poisoned and I will win the game. Here, I'm not sure what he's looking to do here. I'm thinking he's going to Z... Oh, yeah. I expect him to Z Parting Shot into Rotom. So I go for a knockoff here, trying to get rid of Rotom's Choice Specs. He's going to reveal Hidden Power Ice, which is really annoying, actually, because it's like two-shotting me. I mean, he's not Technician. I just like miscalculated or something. I don't understand this foul play, Pay. Yeah, I'm just gonna recover, get my pecs nice and healthy. I go Hoopa because I'm not really scared of anything this thing's gonna do. I expect him to Wish. Here I go for Dark Pulse. With Finny dead, he has no Dark Resist, so Dark Pulse should be picking up a kill. Persian has to come in on rocks and get poisoned. I think it actually dies at this range. I'm gonna go for Dark Pulse, as he reveals to be like max Bedef. Still takes a fat 71, and he's going to get Explosion, which kind of sucks for my Hoopa, but it's basically accomplished its job. Because with Licky gone, he can't keep up his Aggron or his Persian, so these things will just be chipped down. I go Mienshao here because I know he's Specs, not Scarf. I don't really care about this. This thing can't do anything to me, and Mega Aggron should be scared. If I jump kick, and you see the hazard game is just way in my favor, and he reveals to be a pretty slow Persian. Did not creep my Mienshao, would appear. So he dies to that. Here, I'm going to U-turn, because how did I do this? Oh, yeah, I just wanted more damage on this to put it in range of high jump kick. So he's actually going to extreme speed, which is a pretty nice play. That's keeping my Mienshao kind of weak. If I miss high jump kick, that could matter. But this thing's toxic, and I can just spam Roost, and this thing's going to die. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it so that he will die to toxic, and I can be at the highest health possible. So this comes, you see the rocks are really chipping this down. I go Pex because I know I can live any one hit, and he shows Volt Switch. It's kind of annoying, but he will take more rocks. So we go Gliscor, and we're just going to beat down this Aggron, and then we pivot into Druddigon, knowing we can live basically any one hit, and we're just playing for differential at this point. And Pex will be able to live, Scald, and kill. Basically, this is like positional chess here. He had no outs. Also, he ran out of overheats. That's going to be a GG. Good luck in the Gastrodon division next season, Romeo.